Good morning, good morning, good morning. Be thankful. We are very thankful that God blessed our church and members of our church and the members of our community with keeping us safe. Some lost houses, some lost roofs, but nobody in our community that I have heard of as of this moment has passed away due to the storm that came through. Right now, they're saying there's 25 people in the state of Mississippi that have lost their lives due to the tornado that has come through, 104 miles long on the ground. A couple of towns have been obliterated. So, I'm thankful that, yes, the damage that we suffered, we had a few homes that were destroyed. A few homes where the roof was taken off the house or the shingles were taken off. But God blessed us yesterday with our lives. So thank God for that. And we're going to have church this morning. Who makes it. Who don't. We still got people without electricity and hot water, and the light crew is working as hard as they can to get everybody's life back to as normal as can be. So on this 26th day of March 2023, we can be thankful that God's hand was on us. And that leads me into my discussion that we have today. It comes from 1 Corinthians 8:6. And let's go to 1 Corinthians 8:6. Let me get to it. As you can tell, I'm still fighting with this crud that I've had, but it is getting better. All right, so 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 6 says, "Yet for us there is one God, the Father of all things are from him, and we exist for him. And there is one Lord, Jesus Christ. All things are through him, and we exist through him." I'm going to break this down very simply. In our life, in mine, Brother David's life, and in yours life, the main thing is the main thing. I'll say that one more time. The main thing is the main thing. And we are told here in these words that the main thing is God. In life, whether you're a preacher, a deacon, a Sunday school teacher, or a member of the congregation, as a Christian, God is the main thing. If you're struggling, it may be because you haven't made God the main thing in your life. Because in every aspect of our life, God is to be the main thing, not our jobs. A lot of people put their jobs as first in their life, but God is a jealous God, and he likes nothing to be before him. He tells us that we are to be his number one, and he is our number one. If we have God as the number one in our life, everything else will fall into place. Even if we have God as number one in our life, we're going to serve God before we serve anything else. We can still do our jobs. We can still be a husband or wife. We can still be mom or dad. We can still be friends. We can still be good neighbors. As long as God is number one in our life, we're going to be the best of those that it is humanly possible for us to be. We got to understand, as God is number one in our life, He takes care of us. He meets all our needs. He provides every need that we have. He may not provide the way we want it to provide it, but He provides the needs we need as we need them and how we need them. You know, God goes before us on our walk. If we have God as number one in our life, He is walking before us. He is the one clearing the path for us to come down on. And I see other people do this. They place their wife or their husband or their children first in their life. And then they wonder why things go south, why things go sour. Well, it's because God comes first. If I'm loving God with my entire being, then God's going to fill me with His love. And that love's going to pour out onto my spouse. That love's going to pour out onto my children. That love's going to pour out onto my co-workers. That love's going to pour out onto my neighbors, my family, and the strangers that I meet. But the key to this is God's got to come first. I'm hoping you're grasping the repeating of what I am trying to say. Because if God comes first, as I've said before, everything else will fall into place. Don't get caught up in the ball games. Don't get caught up in the entertainment. Don't get caught up in your things. Keep your perspective in the correct order. God comes first. All that other comes after. All that other will fall into place as you need it. Because let me tell you something, there's nobody enjoy fishing more than I do. There's nobody that enjoys working with wood more than I do. But God's got to be first. I've got to do what God has called me to do first. And then that other comes into place. In fact, I have discovered that as I put God first in my life, I enjoy my family more. I enjoy my spouse more. I enjoy my work more. And I enjoy my playtime more. Because I have the right perspective. Now, I'm going to warn you, the world will say to you that your job comes first. It has to be first in your life because you'll lose that job. And I'm going to give you a little caveat here. Who do you think gave you that job? Do you think the company gave you that job based on your work experience and your resume? No. Remember, God is God of all things. And He provides each of us with a job so that we can use that money for providing for our family, providing for our needs. That's one way God provides for our needs, to help build the kingdom. God provides for us. So no, our job does not come first. God comes first, and then He will bring the job. The world says it's okay to miss church. All I know is what God says, that we are together in fellowship. Don't put that aside. He says, don't put that aside. Don't fail in doing that. Because you see, what happens is when we're not holding each other accountable, when we're not together as a group and fellowshipping as a group and talking, okay, I am back, and I hope that we may have to start, I may have to put it together. But anyway, The world says it's okay to miss church, and it's not okay to miss church. God tells us to gather together, and there's a reason why. That is to, as we are together as a group, it helps to insulate us from the influence of the world. We realize that we need each other, that there is a need for us to gather together. There is a need for us to be with each other, to strengthen each other and pray for each other. It reminds us of who we are. And we got to understand there's only one Lord, and that's Jesus Christ. He died for us. He left heaven, came here to earth to pay our debt that we couldn't pay. He came here to clean us up because we could not clean ourselves up. And He came here to save us. He threw us a lifeline. We exist simply because of Him. He created us. He loved us enough that after we messed up, He came down and said, I'll take care of it. And He wants to spend eternity with us, do things with us. And He wants us to work for Him, to serve Him, to spread the good news, and to grow to be like Him. And that last part, I saw that yesterday. Hundreds, thousands of people arriving in Winona, Mississippi, cleaning up, cutting driveways out, putting tarps on roofs, praying for those who lost their homes. Complete strangers. And it didn't matter what color you were. They were praying for you. That is what He wants us to be. Folks, I just hope and pray that you shall do that which God has called you to do. And that put Him first in your life. If you do that, God has something marvelous for you to do. Until next time, put God first.